Okay, here we are. Map number 2, Mirage in the finals. Gfinity, CEVO, LAN qualifier. The winner of, well, this best of 3 right here is going to be moving on to London. OpTic Gaming just took map number 1, Overpass. That was Selfless's pick. Now we're on OpTic's own pick of Mirage. Both teams have a good history on it, and a pistol round is underway.
It is, so Selfless need to try to see if they can't start on the right foot again. The one time we saw this 5 Selfless play Mirage, they did come up with a pretty big win against Energy in the semifinals. And it's a map that even in the past, when they were enemy with different players, they were usually pretty decent on. So I don't think we can come out completely yet, but OpTic certainly have proven themselves to be a pretty worthy Mirage team in the NA scene as well. And it was their pick, so certainly comfortable with it to try to see if they can't close this out in a 2-0 series, as we do see OpTic traversing through underpass to make their way to upper B to make some type of contact play here, it seems. But there are two players on the balcony.
Yeah, Mitch is in a position to go ahead and play the flashbang. If they spot mainline out, they're never going to expect Mitch to also be standing here unless he ends up showing himself. They stall out, waiting on this, and then here comes the rush. First pop flash out. Completely ineffective. Doesn't matter. Mainline pops 2 off real fast. They trade positions. Look at this. Now the T's are inside while the B defenders are up in apps. That's a great position, though, because they can just wait it out and then retake real fast. Rush
big hold here for Selfless.
Yeah.
Don't even lose the player. Very convincing win there for Selfless, and I think that's kind of what you need after the thrashing on Overpass. Despite the close rounds, a pretty one-sided score. Now they start off pretty well here, getting a pistol. They seem to try to keep it up against OpTic, who will of course be force spying. No bomb plant involved in that round, so we will see some Deagles out, some armors picked up, and they'll see if they can't do something here. They actually don't have any utility though, so they're just gonna have to rely on hitting shots, as they'll actually storm out mid with these Deags.
That was so weird, trading places like that. There you go. That's how you open it up. Nifty with the scout picking one off. Stanislaw still going to be able to go ahead and work his way forward, taking mid control. Shazam watching at top island. Rush wants to, yeah, he's just going to go ahead and go underpass right here. So they put a number of players all over position so as to split the A site. Bomb still at the far back corner, so Shazam's going to have to go ahead and cross and pick up the bomb. Nifty picks one more off. That's Rush. Bomb picked up, so it's going to be an A once Shazam gets in position.
And there's some hope that this Palace Stairs split will work out, but no, Uber catches on the Stanislaw.
Yeah, Stan shows himself a little bit too early is what that was, and that's going to force the fight just early. Relic spots Shazam out, and at this point, Stanislaw has no hope. He's trapped between a rock and a hard place. He grabs a Deagle, turns it into 2, but, yeah, he's all alone. Finally isolated, and then shut down.
I mean, I guess it gives us a little bit of spice there at the end. A little flash in the pan, so to speak, but well, it didn't really amount to a whole lot nonetheless. And so Selfless are going to go ahead and go up 2-0. Looking to see if they can't go ahead and get the 3-0 start, which is fairly likely, seeing as how OpTic have already spent their force spy, and they'll just be on Glocks and P250s here. Looks like they're just going to try to storm out of Palace and hope that they can somehow get a bomb plant, but obviously not going to be the easiest of tasks with all the utility and firepower that Selfless is packing over here.
Yeah, speaking of utility, no utility in the hands of OpTic. So once they explode, it's really just down to raw firepower alone. Stanislaw got tagged up pretty good already, down to 13 on the other side of the smoke. Here they come, running out, or rather stalling out, right at Palace. Everybody's dead again, with the exception of Stanislaw. Gets one entry himself, but I mean, there's quite literally nothing he can do.
Pretty much not. So it should be a 3-0 here for Selfless. Stanislaw, I guess we'll just hope that someone will get antsy and push him, but it's probably not going to happen. He has nothing to really save here.
Yeah, there's nothing worth chasing for.
Yeah, so I mean...
Oh, but Mitch?
Maybe, just maybe.
Mitch could attempt fate. He's got a P90 and a bunch of grenades that can be picked up.
I mean, this might be OpTic talking about stuff, too, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. A little, non-timeout
before their first gun round.
Not a bad idea. Stanislaw just jumped straight into P90 fire to his doom.
So now it's going to be the opening gun round here from OpTic, and again, they're usually a pretty default mid-control style team. This is one of the maps where Stanislaw will be more active in attacks rather than being a peripheral player. And so that means you're going to see kind of Naf lurking over at A, Daps at upper B. The rest just trying to work and see if they can't get mid-control. Then they just build from that. That's usually their go-to, but they certainly have some heavy side executes mixed in as well. But yeah, they will go ahead and open up about as default as it gets.
Yeah, back to control. Beware the aggression, though. Nifty goes ahead, poking his head into Palace with the AWP. Naf instantly shut down. We've seen how high of an impact player Naf can be, so that is what's linked to OpTic Gaming. And again, that push by Uber dropping Rush as well. So we find ourselves in a massive two-man advantage for Selfless.
I think that's just, again, good scouting from Selfless. They know that Rush is sometimes a bit slow to work underpass, so they get the push on him, and they know that Naf likes to lurk in Palace on default opening round, so they get that pick as well because they had to spawn for it. So good reads from Selfless. OpTic trying to see if they can't bring it back, though. Shazam has been able to find a couple of kills, so they're back to having a chance, but they certainly still are at a disadvantage, and there is being a lot of info given to Relics as he's been able to push a ramp.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
It's slight, but it's there.
Well, Selfless is pretty split up, so they're in danger of running into a number of individual 1v1 fights. And if OpTic Gaming plays is smart, they can go ahead and trade on into this site, at least get the bomb plant down, which would be huge. AK-47's in hand. They're going to both work connector together. And Mitch is far away, so he's going to be almost useless. It's up to Relics and Nifty to go ahead and hold this site. In fact, they might just play for retake. Let the bomb start to plant before they peek.
Absolutely. With Relics positioning, it makes the most sense. Well, OpTic no Relics is here is going to be kind of the biggest thing this round.
Nice. Well, there's one quick shot. Running out of time. Relics peeks the corner and then takes the bomb planter out. He's planning for ramp. No idea that Relics is going to be pushed all the way on back there. So all three members of Selfless going to survive, hanging out of their weapons, hanging out of the AWP. Nifty picking up 3 at the end of that round. And, yeah.
It's just OpTic getting caught by the aggression of Selfless. Just pushing underpass, pushing Palace, getting a really quick 5-on-3. Very hard to play your way out of that if you're OpTic. So they just need to. I don't think they did anything wrong. I mean, your opening default is just your peripheral players are getting picked apart. So that's kind of a problem. You got to be able to hold those kills, and they just couldn't do it. Really well done there from Selfless. As we are going to see a bit of a force here from OpTic. They do have armor out, Tech 9s. Not enough to cripple themselves completely. They could still probably get it by next round, but they're going to give themselves a chance to maybe pose a threat in this round, as they'll definitely be looking to get this bomb down here shortly as the smokes are flying over.
Yeah, I think OpTic is expecting that Selfless's money is a little bit lower than it actually is. Even if they win this round, it's not going to prevent a bye next round. And here we go. Molly's coming out. That's a great Molly. Moving Relics out of position, and then Shazam's going to go ahead and find a kill. Now you got one person smoked off at the very back. Look at this huge smoke wall. It's going to allow for an easy bomb plant right now, but we still have 4 players alive for the retake, and Mitch is already right there, distracting while Uber and Nifty pick off too. Daps finds himself all alone. Should be able to watch the bomb from ramp, but there's 4 players all over the place.
Yeah,
Uber taps the bomb. Mainline's not even going to allow the peak to happen.
No, not at all. So it's going to be Selfless going up 5-0. Great start here to the CT side. This has to be making them feel a lot better about this series because Overpass certainly didn't go according to plan, and they need this map to force that through, which I believe is Dust 2, actually.
Yeah, Dust 2.
So that's what they're trying to work towards at this point, but this is OpTic's next full buy. And, I mean, again, I think they're usually pretty good here on the T side of Mirage. Last gun round, they just kind of got caught with their hands in their pockets, so they need to see if they can't avoid getting caught by the pushes this time around as... Wow, nifty. I think this window smoke missed or something? Or maybe he just... Or it came late, not really sure. Either way, Nifty gets the opening pick on Shazam.
Can't tell. Relics gets tagged up pretty big over there, and then Stanislaw working his way up. Relics escapes with his life, just barely, and he's going to start playing the low HP game, trying not to show. Daps and Stanislaw very far for the bomb, which is frustrating because they get a real fast entry kill on Mitch, and Stanislaw is going to go ahead and try to take the fight, watching for Relics. Oh, just misses the shot. He's just one shot away from dying. Oh, this could be a nice opening. Mainline down. Relics creeps into the site. Stan drops Nifty as well. Now, 1v1, while Uber goes for the bomb. Rather, Daps goes for the bomb.
What is happening this round?
Stan just unloads, opening up the site. Uber's here. I don't think, yeah, Stanislaw has no idea he's around the corner. Daps has recovered the bomb, and Uber's hip to this.
I don't know what this round is anymore, man. I thought Selfless had done everything. They had the aggressive positioning on mid. They get all these kills. They have such a huge advantage, and Stanislaw just eradicates it, and now it's a one-on-one where Dat certainly has the bomb down. He has all the time in the world to get in good position.
Yeah, so Stan's going to finish that round 4 up. Daps, real dangerous spot. He's actually exposed to a number of positions, but is so rarely checked.
Uber thought it was B.
Yeah, Uber has no idea. Just now working his way back into the site, though.
Got a kid. He's got time.
The molly tells Daps exactly where he is. Watching up top. Uber doesn't check it, doesn't expect the sandwich attack.
I can't believe that they just lost that round. Selfless did everything right. Nifty gets an opening op pick. Mitch and Relics push mid together and sandwich it from Cat and Connector. I think that was a 2-on-5, if I'm not mistaken. I think I got that right.
At the B site?
Yeah. I mean, well, I think in general it's a 2v5 after all those mid picks
yeah.
went on for Selfless.
Yeah,
and then
right.
Stanislaw gets a quad kill at B, just pushing up Cat, slipping through the defense, and OpTic wins a round way earlier than I thought they would, given how that round opened up. That is incredible.
Well, it's multiple 1v1 fights that handed that over to Stanislaw right there. He was able to just play those angles so effectively, isolating player after player.
He's a smart guy, too. Again, we talked about it. He's kind of the second brand on this team. He's always been known as being a very smart player. Wasn't always known as a flashy fragger, but he's always been quite intelligent, and he just plays that round as perfect as he can, with Selfless, of course, making a couple of fumbles along the way. But a little bit of aggression here at upper B. Going to be the exchange that favors Selfless. Are they going to let Stanislaw creep back into this round again, though, is the question.
Well, last time Stanislaw was standing in this position, we saw how effective he can be. Oh, the trouble is Mitch saw him. He got spotted out right there, and Stan expects a player over here at Van, so he's going to have to flick this crosshair over, and even though he does a lot of damage, Mitch is still going to come out on top. So this is, what, 3 down for Mitch. Naf's tagged up pretty good, too.
Mitch just trying to hold an angle at this point. He knows his HP is low. He knows he's vulnerable. Shazam trying to see if he can sniff him out, creeping up the catwalk here. There's a player already in market as well, watching the cross. It's going to be very hard for OpTic to get through.
Oh, there's an entry coming in from Naf, though. Trouble is, Nifty's holding this angle. He expects Shazam to be there and drops the player, leaving Naf in a 1 and 3. He knows at least one player's at Marketplace. Should have no idea where anybody else is. He wants to push the angle into Market. Ooh, Uber might have seen him. That's a headshot right there. Uber out the window. Naf
No
hears
time
something.
now, I feel like. He didn't really have a whole lot of time left there at the end to really work much into it. So Selfless going to reset OpTic's economy. They're going to keep the lead. They're up 6-1 now. And they're just blazing through this half. Short of making some big errors in round 7, or round 6 rather, they have been on point on the CT side. Look at Nifty, 13-2. Talked about how he was quad on overpass. Not on this map.
Well, Nifty's been able to hang on to scoped weapons almost the entire time. Very similar story to Shazam. You get the right weapon in his hands, especially on the right map, right? Mirage. It is kind of an Opera's map because you have those long op battles going on constantly down mid. And that's kind of what he's been doing. He's been opening up these rounds mid, time after time after time.
I mean, the impact that Nifty's having in this game, you're almost like, did Kusta ever leave? I mean, this guy's channeling that energy and doing a lot of work so far here on Mirage.
Look at what Mitch just did, doing that wallbang at B side, ends up taking 1 down. And that's enough to scare OpTic aiming off. They're going to start backing away. Bomb.
Seeing Shazam try to come up underpass here, but going to get caught, so seems like OpTic aren't going to find much. The Miracle Man Stanislaw going to see if he can do it again.
The good news is Relics is 1 shot. Nifty doesn't expect this. And that's going to be a free op gifted to Stanislaw while Rush works his way on in. Could be a decent entry. Uber left all alone. With nothing but an SMG as well. This is a little dodgy. Gets dropped down by Daps. Might just have a bomb plant. Relics is in a good position to go ahead and stop this, though. Trade it out.
So now a 2-on-2. Bomb's going to get picked back up. Daps is going to work for the plan. This time he will get it, but they got to worry about this retake. Both coming from CT spawn.
Oh, here comes the flash. And the peek is a great flash, but Stanislaw is able to stay just outside of the line of fire. for almost the entire time. Nobody expects mainline to be over here. Drop Stanislaw, and the defuse is happening. Dap's going to have to win this long-range P255, but the bomb landed for just the wrong position. Can't
I
see
don't know what he
anything
was
from there.
doing. Go and winnow the connector. The bomb's not planted for you. You have no chance on that. So, a decent effort from OpTic. They almost stole another one away from Selfless there. But, I mean, you got to be feeling for OpTic right now. They're not getting anything done there, T-side. Rush just got 0 kills. Holy cow. Didn't even realize that till just now. He's one of their main guys that they used to get mid control. But, again, we've talked about how Mitch and Relics have been able to get aggressive there and do a lot of damage. And Nifty's op has been on point at window, of course. Comty with taking that OpTic connector, seeing if he can do some more damage.
Yeah, Rush's role is that of entry fragger. T-side, that is your bread and butter, so it's really alarming to see him sitting on top of a big, fat goose egg at this point.
Yeah, Naf, the other big playmaker, also not doing anything. Shazam, normally the Opera who can do things in this map. He hasn't done much. Of course, he's only had to op a couple of times, but still, no one's really clicking except for Stanislaw. He's the one that's won him around and almost had him that last one, too. It's just been him, so someone else needs to step up. A couple of people need to step up if they want to have any chance in this half.
Unless OpTic was planning to pick Mirage, they might not have prepared for Mirage versus Selfless. I certainly would have expected this pick to come out. Still 5-on-5.
Waiting to see what OpTic wants to do. Looks like they're setting up for pretty heavy execute. They've given up on their default. They're not trying to work mid anymore. It hasn't panned out, so they're just trying to see if they can't gather up, work a site, execute together, and trade frag. So here they go.
Okay, Relics is going to be able to get on the other side of the smoke. Nobody expects him over there. Takes one before he gets traded on out. Uber, last man in the line of defense, holding down the site. He realizes there's nothing more he can do. Backing on off. Bomb planted. The smokes are down, so it's going to be a little bit of a wait before Selfless execute this.
We're just waiting to see. They're gathering up here. Uber at CT spawn, a couple over here towards the connector, but mainline has been spotted on top of the stairs. Nice counter nades coming in to slow this retake down, and Naf has found a kill, but it's an equal exchange so far. OpTic just a man ahead now.
Oh, look at that snap by Mitch. Taking the sandwich player out instantaneously, but too many T's to worry about, too many angles to worry about as you start working your way back on in. Feeling the pressure. Selfless finally succumbed to a round by OpTic Gaming. So, we're up 7-2 at this point. I mean, it's not too bad if OpTic can just start stringing some of these rounds together, Dust. They can do something. We talk about how it is CT-sided, 8 rounds, 9 rounds, normal, somewhat expected on the CT side. OpTic just, has a lot of pressure to start pushing it.
Right. As they're going to get aggressive at mid again, mainline and company both pushing down to actually attack this mid slope right away, looking for Stanislaw, who does cross the boxes. It has been spotted. They're trying to fall back, but they'll fall back into gunfire from Stanislaw. Nifty also quite low on HP, so this time the aggression not panning out for Selfless. They've suffered casualties rather than delivering blows to OpTic. That's going to help them out quite a lot, as now they will gather up for this execute. They've had Dats tucked in at Palace this whole time. Now everyone else is gathered up here at the ramp, and Uber here with just a CZ has a little bit of help at stairs. This is going to be a tough one to hold.
Seems like that's about it right there. Nice shot.
There you go.
Entry,
the first kill's
Rush.
the hardest, Rush.
All right. The entry fragger finally doing his job, and Nifty is going to be stuck out on stairs. Chooses to go ahead and take the fight, trying to make a play, and it's just not going to work off. Mitch Relics choosing to back on off. So, Dust, I mean...
Rush broke the seal, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you can just let it flow.
I think the deal with OpTic is it took them a while. They had a hard time coping with the aggression by Selfless, but much like the Borg, they've adapted.
I think it also got to the point now where they focused more on heavier set executes. They haven't tried to just, work picks, work default, work map control. Now it's been, let's gather up and let's trade together. Let's use our numbers. Let's just open up these sites. We know we can execute well, and that's been the other big thing. And yes, along with that, it has been dealing with the aggression much more efficiently.
Well, with that detonation, scoreline turns into something a little more manageable. 7-3. Taking a look at the money situation. Ooh, Selfless starting to run into some financial difficulties. Might need to take out a loan against those guns. CZ-75s, P250s, not much utility to deal with, or not much utility to work with, rather. All the cards in OpTic's hands now.
This could be the chance they start working towards the tie. They do have Selfless on another pretty low buy. They're going to be gathered up at B now. And this is one of the teams in NA that do have these kind of crazier heavy B executes with the smokes on Cat. And they just kind of rip through it. So we'll see how it works.
Look at mainline pushing up real close at the very front end of the smoke along with Mitch. Tight angles are looking to get some trade kills real fast. Nafla, beautiful headshot by mainline. He's going to get taken down, and then Mitch trying to follow up with the trades. Does so. Now the challenge is, how can I get out of here alive? Well, that's not going to happen. Dap's not going to let you escape with your skin intact. Could be side entry pretty clean, but Nifty and Relic's already in position to market. Uber going for big flank. He's probably going to be quite ineffective.
Nifty almost got trapped there. Almost got destroyed by the flames, but he remains alive, and yeah, they're just waiting for Uber to get in position with that CZ. The bomb just going down, so they still have a lot of time to try to make this retake work. Will Shazam anticipate this? Oh, he spots him. He has the idea now, but he misses the shot. Uber going to close the distance, getting a little scary.
Oh, beware the CZ-75, though, jumping right into the crosshair. Shazam's going to shut it down, and then Stanislaw walking right into the site, dropping 2. To finish the round relatively cleanly for OpTic Gaming. Not going to get ecoed this time.
I mean, Selfless for a while there had OpTic up against the ropes, but OpTic have been able to bounce back in a big way. Got 4 rounds on the board. Now all of a sudden this isn't such a bad half. If they can win out or even just get a couple of more, they'll still be in decent position going into their own CT side, but Selfless are back on a full buy. But Nifty, he doesn't have that op, and he's been crucial this game for Selfless. He's had so many kills with that thing, but look at OpTic, they're just gonna naked walk up. Naf gets 2 entries. That's what we're talking about with Naf. He's a playmaker. Yeah, he might see him lurking a lot, but every now and then he'll get, you know, get a fire under him, and he wants to get out there and make plays, and he gets 2 entry kills. Just rip Selfless apart. They're just saving their M4s now at B.
That's about all you can do right there. That was absolutely unreal. When I saw that they were choosing to go ahead and charge right through that smoke, I thought, well, this is absolutely ridiculous. We got a player watching the smoke. There's no way you're going to be able to do that. Pulling out the just the ridiculous, like, counter strats, the counterintuitive strats like that, working out beautifully for OpTic Gaming. It's going to be a flawless round for them unless we can see some exit kills popping on out. 5 people still alive. Stanislaus on the lurk, though, looking for kills.
Oh yeah, they don't want to let them save these M4s. They know that they have Selfless bleeding out when it comes to money, so they're just trying to see if they can't get an easier round next time around. They can get these rifles down. They do get 1 out.
Ooh, Rush with the snap
2
almost
out.
turns it into 2.
Yeah, so it's just Nifty that holds on to the M4. Everyone else is pretty bad off. So, I mean, OpTic, what a recovery. They've won the last 4 rounds in a row. So
In a good position for this one, too.
Absolutely.
We got an AWP in the hands of Shazam. Money looking amazing. 8,000 bucks, 5.2 for Nafly, so they're going to definitely go into the next round looking really good should they get ecoed. If not, they're going to go into round 15 with lots of guns in hand. Selfless going to be on an eco with nothing but an M4 in the hands of Nifty. That's the weapon that he saved from last round. They get very aggressive, charging on a ramp. Nafly knows exactly what's going on, though. Doesn't wait for his teammate, takes the fight to mainline.
And takes him out again. Like I said, Naf usually a more passive kind of peripheral player, but every now and then his role will fluctuate and he'll shift into a more aggro position and he'll go look for kills, and it certainly panned out last round. And so far it's helping him out here in this round as well. He's delivered first blood. You see Uber still being a little bit aggressive here, still trying to push through, still trying to check and see if he can catch Naf with this CZ. As he begins to back off, Naf begins to press back in. And they are going to gather up here at A, look for another execute here. But Uber, he's going to push back out, might have a chance to catch someone off guard. He walked right under Naf. Naf will trade him, though.
After that 1 kill, yeah, Naf's able to just go ahead and fire on death from above. Ooh, nice hold from Nifty. Take the hard angle. Finally, hero for OpTic Gaming. Nafly shut down. Nothing they can do to really prevent a bomb plant. Rush works his way on into the site. Stanislaw holding the angle, and now it's just Nifty. Realizes exactly where the bomb's going to be planted for, but yeah, the kills come out first.
There you have it. 5 in a row for OpTic. Now they're just 1 round away from tying this thing up, and all that ground that Selfless gained is starting to wither away.
Costly ground.
Yeah, I mean, OpTic could even come out of this half with a lead if this keeps up, and that's really scary when you think about how Selfless started this game. That it makes you wonder if they lost all their steam.
Yeah, it was 5-0 before OpTic Gaming started picking up some rounds. At this point, they're going to leave mid alone, splitting between B and A for the most part. Stanislaw just watching for a push.
7-1 lead now has shrunk quite a lot. We are going to see OpTic again setting up for one of these heavier BX picks. Like Shazam's already found an opening pick onto Mitch at upper B. Nifty tries to trade it back, but he gets pushed out. So OpTic will just kind of sit here on a man advantage for a moment. Nifty did spot 2 players upper B, so you might have some idea that they're going aggressive. But look at this. Dax, I think, is going to set up that smoke on the opposite side of connector, and they'll be able to get up Cat without being spotted from A site, and this could be a very dangerous B split.
They end up smoking deep inside of connector too, so there's no way that they're going to be spotted off. B split indeed going on. They check stairs. Nifty flashed out, almost completely set on fire. They're not going to expect it. They think that they went ahead and clear this position. Now, mid-air shot by Nifty. Turns it into a 2K before he finally gets dropped on out. Boy, bomb needs to be recovered by OpTic Gaming. Mainline Uber already rotating on into position. Mainline spots one, uses that smoke to his advantage. However, Rush with the spray down. I think that was a collateral 2K.
And what a story for Rush. This man was 0-8 after 8 rounds played, maybe even been 0-9, and now he's sitting at 8-11. So he's really recovered. Like as OpTic has recovered as a team in this half, he has really picked it up here. And Stanislaw continues to perform, and it's a close race after that. You know, Stanislaw well out in front, but the frag distribution tight across the board. And now we're in the last round of the half, and Selfless just on FAMAS. It's again going to be one of these big A hits here, and Naf again opening it up himself.
Yeah, Uber's going to go ahead and hide inside of Dark. It is going to be checked. Stanislaw dropped instantly by the headshot. Uber trying to take the fight to the Texas player, but he gets traded out almost instantaneously. Now, Nifty and Mainline, basically the entire team's playing this super hard defense, trying to prevent them from crossing the line into bomb plant territory. It's working out beautifully so far. Check this out. Shazam, Daps, unable to make it all the way towards the bomb site. Shazam holding this angle. If Mainline just peeks him, though, he is so dead. Shazam, look left, look left. I can almost hear the Jaws music playing, Dust.
Dum, dum.
Oh, there's the flash. And it's going to be a 1v1 firefight. Daps comes out on top.
You hate to see it. I mean, Selfless were in prime position to take this map away from OpTic. I mean, they had him trapped in a corner. They had him dead to rights, it felt, but OpTic, huge comeback, wound up winning the half despite being down 7-1 at one point, just getting their act together. Again, they kind of fell off of their more default mid-control oriented strategy and went into some heavier executes on both sides of the map, really, and found nothing but success when it came to the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, look at it. Early on, what was that thing that was working so well for Selfless? They do all these super heavy, aggressive kind of pushes all over the place. Then OpTic started chilling out, sitting back, letting them push, feed the meat grinder as it is, right? At that point, Selfless was broken. They got, a couple of rounds, 7 and 8 back in, and then OpTic just goes right on back to default strategy. Now that Selfless has learned pushing is not going to work, and at that point, it runs away. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? 7 rounds, I think I'm counting, in a row at the very end. I mean, what a comeback during the first half for OpTic Gaming.
He also, like, Stanislaw just had that really sick quad kill to get him their first round.
Oh, that was nuts.
Which kind of finally started to stop the bleeding of OpTic a bit. I mean, Selfless respond and reset the economy and get a couple of more rounds before OpTic really start get rolling. But that's still a round where, like, a play was made that I think gave OpTic a little bit of confidence, like helped their morale get back up. And like I said, Stanislaw continued to have a big half. He's their top fragger. He's double almost everyone else on the team after that half is over with. But, again, you also have to give props to Rush, who at one point had 0 frags for a lot of that half, and then he recovered. Naf also, I mean, he's negative, but think about the A entries he was getting there towards the end of the half to help open up sites and give OpTic a fighting chance. So, again, you had some guys kind of dig deep there for OpTic, and despite the slow start, they perform enough to get themselves in an advantageous position now.
It took a while, because the key entry fraggers just weren't representing in any capacity for OpTic Gaming. They're getting fragged out early, and then it's like, well, what do you do? Worse, I mean, no one was in a position to really trade for them. So you got a lot of sort of meaningless deaths going on. And yeah, and then they finally turned this thing around. We talked about Stanislaw a little bit in the pregame show. How he used to put up these incredible numbers in previous teams that he was on, and now he's taken a bit of a back seat specifically to Nafly and Shazam, who's really stepped up in a lot of the games recently. Apparently not here today. And now Stanislaw right back on top of the board. When the rest of the team isn't stepping up, Stanislaw is still one of these guys who can step up and say, hey, man, I will carry you, and let's get the job done.
There was, only one set of footsteps on the beach when I thought you were carrying. It was because he was carrying them, Was that biblical thing? I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. I couldn't remember the story, right? Was this the problem? It was something about like footsteps on the beach in the sand, and if you were with me, how come there's only one set of footprints? It's because I had you on my back. That's kind of what Stanislaw was doing there for a little while. But again, everyone kind of had a resurgence, and now OpTic are around ahead going into the pistol here in the second half. Appreciate all of you lovely viewers out there for joining us tonight here for the finals to see who is going to be going to London to represent NA, or at least the first NA team to do so. Because there is certainly going to be there's going to be 3 more qualifiers after this to determine the rest of the team. So it's not as if the loser tonight is completely out of it. They'll have more chances, but this is to get that first coveted spot, and we are going to see it execute.
It's a ridiculous execute. OpTic Gaming is playing the most passive defense you could possibly hope for on the A side, and Selfless realized this. They just charged right in, no problem whatsoever, getting an almost instantaneous free bomb plant. That is so important. Even if they lose this round, that is so important for building the economy going forward. They get great post plant positions. Uber is in the most dangerous immediate spot. Playing to the strength of his gun, though, at Firebox. He's going to go ahead and get found out.
Again, it's Stanislaw making plays to get his team back into the round, and now they might just steal it away. It's only mainline 1v3, but Naf will come out. He'll grab it. Enough time to defuse, and a round you thought Selfless had in the bag with those entries, especially with Mitch, the way he was getting things done. Stanislaw clears out window room for 3 kills, and they make the retake work. Holy cow.
I mean, clearly that was a strategy that was by design for OpTic Gaming, because they chose to go ahead and play way the heck back on A site. Not even challenging. You get all these players for Selfless charging in, and they're like, all right, dude, it's fine. We're just going to give up the site, do a 5-man retake, and, F things up, as it were. And it worked. I mean, I was doubting it. I'm thinking this is crazy. Now, the trouble for OpTic Gaming, though, is by allowing that bomb plant, you've got some cash. So Selfless has the option. You can A, buy up very aggressively this time around, or B, save for a 3rd round buy. Judging by that AK-47 in Uber's hands, I'm guessing we've got the former. Just a guess.
Yeah, they forcing up. And I mean, that has to just take the wind out of Selfless's sails, man. I mean, there's been so many rounds now where they feel like they should have won and they can't, and that's allowing OpTic to just keep building up this lead. And they're starting to crack under the pressure now, it seems like. But they're going to try to see if they can't force buy their way into an A execute. They do get 1 pick. They're starting to work their way in here, but still a formidable defense here from OpTic.
Yeah, that was actually a really nice shot. Really nice shot. Shazam's going to get found out real fast, so he also gets dropped. This should be a very fast A-side take. Nath, the last man in position. Rush is going to get smoked off. Nath just really needs to stay alive. Ooh, gets aggressive, pays off, dividends, drop the bomb carrier, turns it into 2 kills. That's actually Daps finishing him off. And 1 player stuck at Firebox. You know why we call it Firebox? Because it goes kaboom when you drop a grenade on top of it. Good night, Mitch.
So OpTic holding Selfless off. No bomb plant that round, actually. Naf stopped it. No. Big play there from him to, deny a little bit of money there to Selfless, who will be having to save up a bit this round to make sure they get a full buy next round. But it's actually at the cost of not giving Nifty his op. And think about how big he was with it in the first half when he had the money for it. Now he's not going to be able to open up with it, so that could hurt Selfless a little bit in their offense. We are going to see, a little bit of mid-aggression here from OpTic, and it's going to pay off big time.
It's a lot of bit of mid-aggression going on, dropping everybody except for Uber, who's super low HP, and he's staring longingly at that bomb just ahead of Island. Such a dangerous spot, and again, a round comes to a close. Compliments of the HE grenade.
So 11-7 now in favor of OpTic. It's the first gun round, though, coming out of Selfless. We are going to see CT side here of OpTic still on a couple of SMGs. Want to see if they can't get a little bit more cash. I think Stanislaw didn't have so much money to upgrade to a rifle with, so that's why he's held on to it. But even Daps is going to. Feeling confident over here on OpTic.
This is map 2, for those of you asking. Mirage, overpass went in favor of OpTic Gaming. If OpTic take this, OpTic move on to Gfinity. CEVO LAN.
Absolutely.
In London.
And I mean, in a bracket where CLG and Liquid were involved and were kind of the favorites to make it to the finals, neither one made it here, and OpTic may get one of those spots. Or Selfless still has a chance. It's not kind of out just yet.
No, I mean, they've got some fight in them. Selfless has been a Cinderella story time and time again. Running into trouble, though. Stanislaw dropping main line at underpass. Selfless continues to commit to a mid-take. Decent mid-control setup with Shazam and Stanislaw, and once these smokes go off, it's going to be even stronger.
And I'm going to come back out here with the op. Re-peek mid. Nifty is here. Holding an angle to see if anyone's going to push Cat. May step out and punch Shazam. No, Shazam going to win that exchange. Big kill to get. That really softens up Selfless even more. Around where they were already struggling with the man disadvantage, now it gets even worse. They'll see if they can't still push through here at A. They have all 3 remaining members gathered up to hit the ramp. They're going to see if they can't work their way into the site.
Nav has been really strong. Ends up dry peek in the corner, spots 2, and then a 19 counter flash. Not able to allow a little kill for Nowfly. Uber's going to go ahead and drop him off. Shazam now rotated into position at CT. Dropped 1. Another one with a pistol. Relics running out of time. Should have no problem getting to the bomb plant, but ooh, right through the corner of the box, though. Rush puts an end to that.
I mean, he had no choice but to stick it. Time was running out, but he couldn't get it down. Rush able to push in there and grab it. And a big round there for Shazam. 3 pretty crucial kills. And
that's a good
call. 12-7. Timeout definitely needed. Definitely attack. As they're going to go into a round here where I would imagine... Here, I'm trying to think. They're definitely going to buy. Because next round's max loss anyway. So
3,400. Yeah, they can buy down to no less than say $1,300. I'd want $1,500 on all my players right now because you're
so
have,
I think
34?
you're gonna talk about, okay, who do we give armor tech 9? Who are we gonna do like P250 nade set? And then what are they actually going to run? I mean, you would assume it's just going to be a heavy side execute with limited utility, but you got to think OpTic's expecting that. So they're either going to be able to break through or they're not. And the thing is, if you don't break through here, OpTic's up 13-7. You will likely get a decent full buy next round, but it's going to be one of your last ones before OpTic approaches map point. So
yeah, definitely going to be some heavy discussion right here. Selfless. They need to go ahead and eco OpTic Gaming. You're talking about money a little bit. Ecoing OpTic would actually be, it would go a long way for really Selfless because you got 2 players who've been dropped down to what, $1,100 and $1,700. That's going to be Nath and Stanislaw. Shazam also a little bit low, but what's troubling is Daps is sitting on 8.5. So it is going to take multiple round victories to truly break the bank for OpTic Gaming. I'd have to say, what, two frag out rounds before OpTic is actually in some financial trouble. That would make the scoreline, what, 12-9 before OpTic has teeth again. But that's all dependent upon Selfless winning this eco force.
Yeah, we're gonna see the Tech 9 out on main line, head armor, a couple of nades. Also Tech 9 coming out here for Mitch.
Okay, so 3 smokes so far. They can certainly afford more, though. They're discussing what to do with these rich players here. $3,800 and $3,200. So that's what? That's over $2,000 that Relics can pull out. And close
again,
to
you're probably going to get everyone
Uber
down to around this 1,200, 1,300 range.
Yeah. I can see everybody at Selfless with their wrist pocket calculators out right now. All right, so if this is $800, okay, I can get a Tech 9. Okay.
So
no
Nifty gonna be the
SMGs.
one to not buy because he's obviously looking to see if he can't get an op. So he'll stick with this at 250. Everyone else though, Tech 9, armor, nade set. So let's see if they can get anything done with it. Looks like they are going to head towards upper B and try to waterfall out. No P9 this time for mainline to do it. I know he likes to do that, but he'll have to do it to Tech 9 instead.
Contact B. Actually, I would expect some sort of smoke strat on B. You can do some pretty cool things. We don't see a lot of the pro teams doing that often. No, they're just charging on in. Yeah, smokes are already out. That counter flash, though, is going to take Nifty out of the picture relatively early on. Dap, Shazam backing off. Good smokes. They drop sight smoke. That's the key. And that's going to allow the bomb plant. Makes the investment somewhat worthwhile. But they're just falling apart.
No, Shazam!
1. Yeah, Shazam just chooses to take the fight.
On the struggle bus.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter, though.
Finds himself in so much trouble. He's top apps right there. Rush going to finish that one with, what, 2? Closing the round with 2.
My favorite part of that round, though, was when all the nades came in and Daps just took the note train to fuck that bill. He got out of there. He was like, nope, I am not even gonna deal with this upper B waterfall. I am out. I'm gonna hang out over here in the corner with my drink, watch the party from afar, wait for my boys to show up, and then we'll do this thing. And,
but you know what? Daps knows.
Paid off.
Daps knows. Selfless sat down and they discussed this in great detail. And they, when he saw those smokes, he said, "This is a set strat. And if I sit here playing standard, I am so dead. Forget this. We're just going to engage them on our terms." Smart play. Off that plant, though, Selfless got the money to get Uber even bought up. Uber was at $650 last round. And then Nifty has the AWP.
So we are going to see the op out on Nifty. Nice buy here from Selfless. Pretty much all across the board. You can see OpTic is actually a bit limited.
Look at Rush and Half-Life getting super aggressive. I don't think we caught that on camera over there, but yeah, they push all the way out of A ramp, and that's going to be one free pick. Relics immediately drop down. So young Skylar totally screwed.
Man. And now Shazam's found Nifty as well. Shazam keeps winning these op duels against Nifty now, and that's a bit concerning because Nifty was getting the better of Shazam earlier on in this map. Not the case anymore, and that's big for OpTic. Shazam even moving into positive territory now on the KD, so he's really come alive himself.
Well, there's a nice entry right there, and it gives jungle control to Uber and Mitch, which is going to cause a little bit of indecision for Naf and Stanislaw. The trouble is they're now going to go ahead and watch the backside. They expect them to come straight into the sight. And each of them pick up a kill for their troubles, putting us 1 round away from match point. 1 round away from game point, even, Dust.
And 2 rounds away from OpTic going to London, booking their tickets at the end of April for the 125K finals. We're going to have in the Gfinity Arena. Again, there are still more chances for other NA teams to qualify, but if OpTic can seal it up here, they will be the first one, and the one that most people didn't expect to come out. You have a lot of more teams competing in this region. Brazilians are on their way next bracket, so OpTic could slip through here past teams like CLG and Liquid, and that would be big for them.
No, nobody in chat catches that Speedbird reference, do they? Way too obscure. It's the call sign for British
You feel old every time chat doesn't respond to a reference?
Oh, I do.
Get a gray hair every time?
Every single time. There you go, Shazam missing yet another op shot and loses the long distance firefight to an SMG.
Well, that was mainline from underpass, actually. That was close range.
Oh, it was, yeah. Okay, there it is. All right, so a little bit of money coming in. $600 right there. Boosting in a window. And the bomb's going to start rotating his way back towards A site. If as long as Uber doesn't go down to Rush right here,
Rush knows
has a
this
really
happens.
good shot.
Rush knows the window boost happened. He's waiting to catch this guy.
Yeah, Uber's looking the wrong way. Kind of comes down to this firefight right here. Oh no, Rush looks away! And the gun just visible to Uber. He's going to go ahead and take the kill, and now they just explode all over the site. Stanislaw trying to be like a sneaky ninja, turns it into 2, sprays it down. 3 players down to Stanislaw's AK-47. It's going to be Uber all alone. So 1v2. Uber Dust. He's going to have to play this super smart. Nothing but what? A AK? 1 Molly. Surprise! There's Daps.
How many times has Stanislaw this game just made a play to hold Selfless off? I mean, there's been at least 3 rounds I can think of where he's been massive and pulling through for OpTic to get him around they had no business winning.
I'm still on about that B play on T side. That was just
Yeah, that was nuts. That was the first one of the 3 that I can recall.
Yeah.
So he's been a player here tonight for OpTic, and now they're just 1 round away from clinching that spot. The first slot for NA. There's 3 more qualifiers coming up soon after this one, but OpTic could claim the first spot here and now. Selfless with not much to work with, very limited on utility, a couple of Galils in play, certainly no ops out, and OpTic may have just done it. Selfless needs to win 8 in a row to force an overtime here, just to have a hope at a map 3.
Oh, Dap's gonna get found out. At the corner, drops a smoke, and Mainline's gonna go ahead and start retreating. It's just a temporary, little strategic, tactical retreat as the bomb works its way towards B. Selfless positioning for a B hit.
I'm waiting for this underpass play this time. He knows Mainline caught him out a little bit ago. This time he wants to be ready for it, but Relics in the meantime going to be able to work out. Palace get a pick there on the Stanislaus, so the playmaker is down. Mainline able to get up connector. They're getting some great positioning here for an A split. Can Rush backstab them though is the question here. I think he has spotted a player because Van knows it's coming.
He heard one.
He's able to deal out the frag.
He definitely knows somebody's in underpass, so he's going to take a position right here. There's Mitch, spotted out. Uber, not quite. Uber's going to go ahead and make the trade kill. Shazam's
Great teamwork there from Rush and Shazam.
So the old 1-2-1-2. Relics now all alone. It's up to you. You've got to stay alive if you want a shot at going to London. Relics clutch time. 1v2. Galil in hand. He's going to go ahead and push the issue. Just misses out on the AWP of Shazam. Oh, takes a lot of damage right here. Tries to open the bomb plant. 7 seconds remaining. Gets the bomb, but then Daps peeks around the corner. That's it. Good game. OpTic Gaming with this defuse are going to London.
Congratulations are out to OpTic in a bracket that they were not the favorite. You know, you had COG Liquid involved. Selfless had a crazy run through their side of the bracket. There was a lot of things stacked against OpTic. They had to get past Liquid directly in the semifinals. They did that last night, and now they've punched their ticket for London. They will be our first North American team that will be headed to the Gfinity finals in London at the Gfinity Arena at the end of April.
Amazing.
So well done to them. Gotta give them a whole lot of props. As don't worry, the teams you saw in this bracket that didn't do so hot will still have more opportunities to get one of the remaining 3 slots for NA for the event. But OpTic, it's all cheers from tonight. They are done. They don't have to play with us anymore. You know, they got their spot. They can focus on other things and just prepare for LAN. So yeah,
wow,
really
so
well
that's
done.
great. That's huge for OpTic Gaming, actually, because this was, you talked about it, this was difficult because they had to deal with Counter Logic Gaming, who Energy ended up beating out. So, yeah, good on you, Goppy. And who else was in the bracket? Team Liquid, which was a tooth-and-nail, hard-fought battle. Probably the match of Qualifier 1 was really last night's Liquid OpTic Gaming thing, and they're able to just eke out ahead. So that's it. We're looking at Qualifier 2 starting relatively soon. We've got a total of 4 of these. So every single champion at the end of these qualifying brackets moves on to London CEVO-LAN. I don't remember what the dates are, like the very end of March all the way to early April or so, right, Dust?
End of April into early May.
End of April to early May, right? That's what it is.
So yeah, and I do want to make this other point. So first off, congrats to OpTic. They got through where they were certainly not like even a top 3 ranked team in NA right now. Or well, maybe they have now maybe proven that. But the big point to make is this: is there's only 3 slots left for the North American region, right?
Yep.
For Gfinity, you got Liquid, CLG, Cloud9, Tempo Storm, Luminosity, and Renegade. It's all sitting out there. That's
tough.
6 pretty good teams and only 3 slots left. So some hearts are going to be broken here trying to qualify for this event, where there may not be another North American team going to LAN.
It could be
if
all
Tempo
Brazil
Storm,
here.
Luminosity, and Renegades decide to come through. And so in these next brackets, this might be the only true NA representative. So it gets real scary from this point forward. So that's kind of a cool storyline to think about for the future. But for tonight, all we need to worry about is that OpTic came up big and they're going to LAN. So congrats to them.
That's remarkable. So before we go, I guess we should mention Coming up soon, we're going to have a couple of other competitions going on as well. Specifically, we got this Easter egg extravaganza. I didn't name it. I did not name it. The Easter egg extravaganza. It's going to be a holiday weekend tournament. Go to CEVO.com. You can sign up for your teams. It's open. I think it's a small prize pool. Maybe I haven't looked into the details of it. We just announced it, so that's really cool. I don't know if it's been announced, but there's some cool stuff coming out with the CEVO client really soon. I was testing it, and I don't want to talk about it because if we haven't announced any press releases, then I don't want to be the one to spill the beans.
We have announced this though. We have
What's
a
that?
$15,000 iBuyPower Cup going on, not this weekend, but next weekend. I think it's the 18th through the 20th of this month.
Yeah,
we've announced 4 teams already, which is going to be Renegades, Hippostorm, Luminosity, and OpTic, who, of course, won tonight. So those are the 4 teams that have already been announced for that tournament, but we still have 4 more teams to announce at a later date. So be on the lookout for that event. Should be a cool one. It'll all be streamed here. Or over, maybe it's over on the iBuyPower channel on Twitch. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, it will be on Twitch somewhere in a couple of weeks. So be on the lookout for that as well. As far as Pro League stuff goes, we're still doing EU during the day for the rest of this week. I'm not sure when the second bracket for NA will pick back up, but just stay tuned to CEVO and you'll be alerted to it. Make sure you follow the Twitch channel as we'll be giving you daily Pro League coverage for the next couple of months as we lead up to LAN. You can also give a follow to us casters if you'd like, at Dustmoret, at Pat Flanagan. That is listed below here on the overlay, and the links are in chat. So thanks so much, guys. Have a good night, and we'll see you next time.